Welcome back to another episode of Scot Talk, where we sit down with members of the College of Wooster coaching staff and get to know them. I'm Gabby Lakes, a junior physical therapy major and a member of the softball team, and I'm joined by Victoria Rumph, who is in her 5th year leading the Fighting Scots. Thanks for joining us, Coach Rumph.
No problem, Gab.
So in the last full season, the team set the program record for wins. How have you been able to take the program to where it is today?
A lot of this just stems from the athletes that we have in our program. So for me, a big goal is to recruit young ladies that are good people, both on and off the softball field, and are driven and competitive and are just willing to bury their heads and work hard in everything that they do. So that's players like you, Gab, and our entire team going out there and just working hard and doing the right things day in and day out. It makes my job as a coach way easier when we have athletes like that as a part of our program. It comes down to the athletes, the willingness to learn every day, and the willingness to put the team ahead of themselves. So players like you, Gab, and the members of our entire team, we're a very selfless group, and we want what's best for the team, no matter what the circumstance may be. So for example, we've got a lot of players that have played so many different positions. That's really big for us, but maybe not playing in their position that they're most comfortable in, because that's the best option for us to have team success. So that selflessness goes a really long way in our program. We have an atmosphere of high expectations. For us, we want to empower our athletes every single day to be able to make decisions on their own and really teach the game so that they're comfortable. Players like you, Gab, are comfortable making decisions on the field and aren't relying on looking at the bench every play or what we're trying to do during the game. So that's really important to us. And I think that's really helped us get to the next level, is just our athletes know the game and they know it well, and they're confident in their knowledge. I think the thing that took us really to the next level over the past 5 years, since Gabby's been on the team as well, and it's been the level of accountability that all the athletes in the program are willing to hold each other to. So we started this off a few years ago. We did an activity, we call it the stalker activity. Gab, you probably remember this one pretty well, but at the start of every practice, our players would pick a name from a hat or a basket, and throughout that practice, our girls were required to watch that person in a little bit more detail. What are some of the things that they're doing that's helping our program get better, and what are some things that they might be doing that's holding our program back? Then at the end of the day, at the end of each practice, we would have 2 conversations, one with the person who had our name and one with the person who had whose name you had as an athlete. And we would just talk about those things and learn to give each other true and honest feedback with the understanding that we're trying to make each other better every single day. And there's no emotion attached to that. And that, I think, is what really started to create leaders outside of our leadership group, where younger players are comfortable talking and giving feedback to older players, and vice versa. So I think that in itself is really what helped us take that step to the next level, because we have a team full of leaders that are comfortable with having high expectations for themselves and each other, and pushing each other to be the best that we can be as individuals so that we can be the best we can for the team.
So going along with that, what are you looking for out of prospective Scots, and what can they expect from the program upon arriving?
We definitely are expecting you to, what we're looking for is someone who's going to work really hard for us and just maintain a positive attitude through the ups, through the downs. That's how we are going to be the best we can be, being mentally tough to be able to get past the rough times, to get back into those good times. So for us, overall athleticism and versatility is very important. I talked a little bit about players being able to play multiple positions. That's really huge for us. The athleticism piece, we can teach athletes to do anything. So that's really what we're looking for in our prospective Scots. Also, both drive in the classroom and on the softball field, like that internal want to just be the best you can be and compete in everything that we're doing on the field, and be the best you can be in the classroom with those goals beyond college in mind as well. And lastly, the willingness to just do whatever it takes and put the team first. That's really important to us. I have a lot of experience with the Canadian national team, and seeing how important that truly has been in our program success, and just making sure that we can bring that to the Fighting Scots as well, because that to me is one of the things that can get you to the next level as a program. What you can expect from the program is we have high expectations for our program and for each individual athlete, and we want you to have those same high expectations for yourself. We're going to hold you accountable to your actions. Your teammates will, your coaches will, and we're going to be an environment where hard work is expected every single day. Going off of those things, those are some pretty, some tough things, but we also like to have a lot of fun. We're a very high energy environment. Gabby's one of those players that provides all that energy every single day in practice. And personally, I'm a high energy coach. I love to get super excited when we make great plays on the field. We love to have some competitions in practice that are a lot of fun for our athletes as well as doing some off the field things. Like this year, we played some snow pitch, brought that from Canada, my experience playing in the winter in Canada. So have some fun doing things like that as well. But we are going to compete hard when we're out on the field, and we're going to work our butts off when we're out there too. But we're definitely a program that's going to force you to reach outside of your comfort zone and to really, really work the mental side of the game, and learn that knowledge about softball in general. I would say my goal as a coach is to allow our girls to have the knowledge that they could go out and be a great softball coach right when they're finished college. So that's really important to me.
So you've been a member of Canada's national softball team for almost a decade. What's that whole experience been like for you, and how was that impacted in our program?
It's been an incredible experience. I am so grateful for every opportunity that I've had to wear Canada across my chest. As a kid, that was the dream. At first, I thought it was going to be playing hockey. Big hockey fan, but eventually that turned into softball for me. So for me, my journey is just it's been all about hard work. And that's something that I have established in our program here. It's an expectation for me as a person, and it's an expectation for our players as well. But it's just been an honor to be able to represent Canada. And the first time I got to wear that jersey and hear our anthem play while standing on the field, there's no feeling like that truly. So just been very lucky. I would say the highlight for me, one of the highlights has been in 2015, we hosted the Pan American Games in Toronto, and we played a really great tournament, and we ended up coming home with the gold medal, which was really awesome. And we got to do it on home turf, and we ended up beating Team USA, who, to be completely honest, they were stacked. On paper, they were better than us. But what it really came down to at the end of the day was we were a better team. This is one of those things where being good teammates really makes a difference in the moment. We had a starting first baseman who ended up losing her spot mid-tournament, losing her starting spot to a player who had never actually played much first base in her life. That just was how it ended up being. It's what the team needed to be the most successful. And I got to watch that first baseman do everything that she did with absolute grace. She helped the person who had taken her job, and she helped her become the best first baseman that she could be for the team in that moment. And to me, that was everything. That was the difference. And that was one of the reasons that we were out there at the end of the game as champions getting our gold medals. We were the best team. Maybe not on paper, but on the field, we were the best team. So that's something that's sort of always stuck with me throughout everything I do as a coach as well. In terms of what it's brought to Wooster, that moment right there to me is a really important moment, but it's really taught me as a coach how to relate to players in all different roles. So in college, I was a typical starting player. I spent most of my time on the field, and that's a lot of fun, and you get to do a lot, and it's super exciting. But as a national team athlete, I was dependent on more as a bullpen catcher and a role player. So I can definitely see both sides of the game, and being a role player sometimes, that bullpen life grind, it's hard, and it's way harder mentally sometimes than actually being in the softball game. So I can really respect and understand what our players are trying to go through when they might be in those same positions, and just sort of help them through that, and show them that they're important, and no matter what they do, every single person has a role that makes the team better. And sometimes you might not realize it until after your season's over, but just showing appreciation for all of our players in every position, in every role that they may play, is something that I really learned with my experiences with the national team. Gabby got some experience last year. I think it was last year. One of my teammates, Lauren Bay Regula, she is a two-time Olympian. She pitched in the 04 and 08 Olympics. And I've been working with her for the past 3 years now. Last year, she came to Wooster and she was throwing a lot of bullpens. So a lot of our players got to hit off of her, stand in and hit off of her. And Gabby was one of those players. So just being able to bring some of my teammates and have my teammates sort of at my fingertips has really been pretty cool, I think, for our athletes to be able to experience. And also to be able to see me going through the same kinds of things that they're going through day in and day out. And just me being able to show them that I'm working hard too, has been, I think, something pretty cool that I've been able to bring to the program from my experiences with the national team. Another really important piece is the strength program that we have with our team. I've been lucky enough to be programmed by a professional strength and conditioning coach, softball specific, to prep for a softball season, an Olympic softball season. So being able to bring things from the programs that I'm using as a softball player to the College of Wooster softball strength and conditioning program has been really huge. And it's been awesome to see all of our athletes just get so much stronger and faster in their time here, especially that development between their first year and their second year on campus.
All right, so switching gears a bit, home games are played at Galpin Park on campus. What stands out to you about our home facility?
I love our home facility. To me, it is one of the nicest softball fields in Division III in our region. We have Jeff Mosier, who is our field crew, essentially a one-man field crew, and he treats our field with tender, loving care. He's out there every day making sure that our infield is perfect and our grass lines are perfect. And the grass is cut beautifully on game day, just like you would see on a major league park. It's really awesome, and it just makes me so happy every time I get to step on our field and see how lucky that we are. Especially when the sun's shining. There's nothing like stepping out on Galpin Park when the sun's shining, the grass is freshly cut, and we got beautiful lines out on the field. Mosier also, he loves the softball team. He will write some messages in the dirt with chalk for us when we've got big games coming up, or write messages in the grass leading into our conference tournament. So it's just really awesome to have that kind of support and to make our field look beautiful every single day. We've had improvements made to the field every year that I've been here. So that it's really awesome that the college is putting in the time and the care to our facilities to make it continue to be one of the better facilities in our region for softball. So that's been really, really awesome. And I love our field. Favorite place on campus, hands down.
So we also have access to the Scot Center, which does allow for year-round training. What do you like about the Scot Center?
The Scot Center allows us to really practice in the winter in a similar way to how we will be able to play. It provides us a lot of space, which is necessary for us with longer throws. It lets us see some fly balls as well, and it lets us scrimmage for the most part the way we would in a game, aside from having one outfielder not be in the field. But We have a great batting cage. It is huge. It's perfect for live pitching and hitting. You can really get a feel in the winter months for where your ball's going, if it's going to be a line drive, if it's a fly ball. So I think that is a really important piece to what we can do when we're inside, because we do spend 4 to 6 weeks inside in the winter months. The Scot Center floor, it makes us better. It is hard to field grounders off that floor. Gabby knows that. But Gabby also knows that when she gets outside on the dirt, it makes things a whole lot easier. And we look like all-stars when we get on the dirt after practicing in the Scot Center for 4 to 6 weeks. So it makes us better softball players.
All right. So as we near the conclusion of this episode of Scot Talk, we're going to fire off some questions, and we want you to answer with the first thing that pops into your head. Sound good, Coach?
Yep.
All righty. So favorite memory as a member of Canada's national softball team?
Pan Am Gold in 2015.
Favorite sport other than softball?
Hockey.
Favorite thing to do in Worcester?
Play hockey at Alice Noble Ice Arena.
Favorite non-athletic tradition at the College of Wooster?
Canadian in me's coming out, filling the arch with snow.
And finally, favorite spot on campus that isn't an athletic facility?
Probably Mom's.
All righty. Well, thanks for joining us on Scot Talk, Coach Rumph. We'll be back real soon with another episode.
Thanks, Gab.